Scientists are working quickly and urgently to make a vaccine against the novel coronavirus so we can get back to our daily lives. At the earliest, an inoculation won't be available for at least 12 to 18 months, says Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert. However, there are several hurdles researchers are facing. Academic research takes a while to complete, the majority of clinical trials fail, and this is a vaccine that has never been produced before. So while manufacturers hope to have a jab on the market by August 2021, it could be as long as May 2036, according to projections made by the New York Times. It comes on the heels of Dr. Fauci saying that hundreds of millions of coronavirus vaccine doses could be ready as soon as January. There are dozens of companies either in the early stages of research or with trials for COVID-19, the disease caused by the virus, currently underway. Among them include Inovio Pharmaceuticals, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Sanofi plus GSK, Oxford University and the Wuhan Institute. If you want to make that 18-month timeframe, one way to do that is put as many horses in the race as you can, Dr. Peter Hotez, dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine in Texas, told The Times. BioWorld reports that at least 254 therapeutics and 95 vaccines for the virus are in development. While this may provide some hope, 90% of treatments that undergo clinical trials are not approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This is for a number of reasons, such as human subjects not responding to the way animals do, improper dose selection, and not analyzing data properly. According to The Times, most vaccines, from academic research to be available on the market, take 10 or more years. For example, the newspaper writes that the Pediatrix shot, which combines DTaP, hepatitis B, and IPV, took about 10 years to develop. A jab against human papillomavirus, which can lead to cervical cancer, took about 15 years, and the inoculation against varicella took 28 years. But there's one thing about the new virus that separates it from the aforementioned others: it has cousins. Severe acute respiratory syndrome and Middle East respiratory syndrome are about 80% identical to the new virus. What's more, the SARS virus and the new virus, called SARS-CoV-2, both use spike proteins to hijack human cells, replicate, and spread throughout the body. The Times reports that this is why researchers developed a PCR test that analyzes whether or not a person is infected so quickly. Their respective outbreaks, in 2002-3 and 2012, produced mass amounts of research that can give vaccine developers a head start. Vaccines generally take a long time because there are several steps to go from research to market. After academic research, scientists perform pre-clinical trials during which data on the feasibility, testing, and safety are collected. Then there are 3 phases of clinical trials: Phase 1 that tests a few people and looks at if the treatment's safe, Phase 2 that involves about 100 people and looks at if it works, and finally Phase 3, which tests a few hundred to a few thousand and examines if the vaccine is better than what's already available. Many months usually pass between the 3 phases. From there, companies begin building factories and manufacturing, dependent on FDA approval, until finally a vaccine is ready to be distributed. If we do it the conventional way, there's no way we're going to be reaching that timeline of 18 months, Dr. Akiko Iwasaki, a professor of immunobiology at Yale University School of Medicine and an investigator at the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, told The Times. There are a few ways to speed up the timeline, such as beginning some steps now before steps that usually come before are completed. One example includes starting to build factories now so that, once a vaccine does receive FDA approval, it can start to be mass-produced. Another way is to combine phases, such as performing Phase 1 and Phase 2 of clinical trials at the same time. A third method is to ensure that frontline and essential workers are vaccinated ahead of everyone else. That's what Oxford University plans to do in September if its trials prove successful this summer. And this is all assuming the US develops the first vaccine. If another country beats America to it, we might have to wait even longer as the citizens of that nation get vaccinated. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, the former commissioner of the FDA, wrote in an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal earlier this week that it's vital the U.S. manufactures the first vaccine because it will then be the first nation to recover. The first country to the finish line will be first to restore its economy and global influence, Gottlieb wrote. America risks being second. While friendly nations will try to share a successful product to a point, the U.S. can't rely on vaccines from China or even Europe being available in America quickly. However, Dr. Fauci is hopeful. In an appearance on the Today Show on Thursday, he said, hundreds of millions of coronavirus vaccines could be available as soon as January 2021. Bloomberg revealed on Wednesday that President Donald Trump had launched Operation Warp Speed to quickly come up with a solution to the pandemic. One of the goals includes 300 million vaccine doses ready by January after Trump rejected the 12 to 18-month timeline. You always have to say you want a vaccine that is safe and effective and that you can scale it up rapidly, Fauci said on the morning show. What is the plan right now? We're in the early phases of a trial, phase 1. When you go into the next phase, we're going to safely and carefully but as quickly as we possibly can try and get an answer as to whether it works and is safe. If so, we're going to start ramping up production, and you do that at risk. You don't wait until you get an answer before you start manufacturing, you at risk start making it assuming it's going to work, and if it does, then you can scale up and hopefully get to that timeline. Thank you for watching our video. Please show your support by subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and Reddit for more videos.